Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about a small scale release from Galaxy Hobby, and it is molded in 1/72 scale and it copies military vehicles. So here you can see M1240A1, it's M-ATV vehicle, and in such scale it should be not that huge model. Actually it's written here that the length will be 90 millimeters, so it won't take a lot of space, and yet it should be quite detailed, so that's why I decided to take a closer look, and I acquired this kit with your help, so it was purchased with help of your donations, and now we have a chance to check it together. So first of all, I have to say that the box size is typical for Galaxy Hobby, because we also reviewed their Max Pro vehicle, and I recommend to check it as well because it was really good kit for this scale. And just to give you an idea about the box size, here is comparison with my hand. Also on the side here we have a few bonuses depicted, so it's a PE set and decals. And if we flip it over here, so here we can see also that we can get some upgrade parts. So there are upgrade P parts, also Middle East soldiers, and military equipment for US soldiers. And here, by the way, you can see 3 markings which can be copied with this kit, but we will see it once we will be checking the decals and assembly manual. So here is the packaging. As you can see, there is plenty of space, and each of the sprues is packed into the separate plastic bag. So I guess we will start as usual with the plastic parts, and then gradually we will move on to other bonuses. As you saw, there was a P thread, so it will be also interesting to check. So first of all, I'm opening plastic bag which carries several parts at the same time. And why I'm laughing, because they are molded as a single piece parts, and this is really interesting. So I will open the lenses a bit. Here, for example, you can see the main chassis, and yes, it is molded as a single piece part, which is really impressive. In 1/72 scale it is still looking, I would say, unusual even today. And as you can see, there are a lot of features pre-molded, so it's just a matter of careful separation, and all these attachment points are quite thin. I don't think it will be a difficult task to do. But that's not all. We continue with the armor shell, if we can say so. So this one is also molded as a single piece part with all separate doors and also separate clear parts. It means the windscreen windows, and this is really cool. Here, by the way, you can see what is inside. So this might be handy for some diorama ideas. Definitely a useful feature. And of course we have bonnet, which is also molded as a single piece part. So here it is. We also have some headlamps pre-molded. I guess they will not be copied with clear parts, but overall it's really cool that it's molded as a single piece part. Again, inside we have some guiding elements as far as I can see. Maybe they will be used for something, I don't know. And next we continue with another plastic bag. So here we have again 3 sprues packed into one plastic bag. Quite I would say cost-saving packaging. So here we have the clear sprue. This one will be handy not only for the windows, but also, as far as you can see, we have some lenses. So maybe headlamps will be actually copied with clear parts. Who knows? We'll check it in the assembly manual. But overall molding quality looks good. Masks are usually not included in Galaxy Hobby kits, so you have to cut them by your own hands and tools, or maybe use the liquid masks. It will be easier and faster thing. And in my opinion, in armor model it might be not that important actually to have the precise clear finish, but it's up to you. And next we continue with the parts for the armor turret. So again, here you can see that we have all the necessary cutouts for the armor windows, and all of them will be inserted inside. And the only question is whether we can insert them afterwards, after painting this part, so that you don't have to mask anything at all. That would be even better thing to do. And next we continue with some minor elements. So I'm checking just what do we have here. I can see that we have wheel rims. We also have some thin parts for the suspension, and overall they look quite fine. But of course they will require careful separation because this is a 1/72 scale after all. Next we have, I would say, kind of bonus for this particular version of the kit, because here we get the figurines which can be placed inside the vehicle. They are 1/72 scale figurines, so here you can see comparison with my hand. and we have really nice sculpting quality. So if I bring it closer, you can see what I'm talking about. It's just a matter of careful painting, and this part will be actually tricky because in 1/72 scale painting a figurine, well, it's quite a challenge, and especially if you do not have experience just like me with figures, so that will be fun for sure. Next we continue with the rubber or 3D printed tires. I'm not sure because they do not look like a typical vinyl tires, and also it was written, yeah, they are 3D printed tires. So, and also as far as you can see, they have weight effect. I will show it in a second what I'm talking about. So here you can see that one of the parts is actually plain on the bottom. That might be handy for a more realistic appearance. We also have some details on the tire walls. We have nice tire pattern, and here you can check the tire from the other side. This is definitely a cool bonus, which will contribute to the overall appearance. And what's really cool that all 5 wheels are copied here. And as far as you can see, the spare wheel does not have the weight effect. So be careful and pay attention to what you will be actually using as a spare wheel, because it would be weird to see the weight effect on the spare wheel. Next, I'm opening another plastic bag. This one is resealable, and here we have suspension parts and also some parts for wheels. So I guess what we saw before was not wheel rims, because here we have wheel rims. We also have a lot of thin suspension parts. We have some engine parts as well. So all of this stuff comes as a standard package, and this is really impressive because it's a 1/72 scale kit, and in some cases you have to work with tweezers because otherwise it will be a really tricky thing to do. And then it's also possible just to break these parts. But that's not all, there is one more gray plastic sprue, so just give me a second. I will try to open it fast and show what we have here. So let's remove this sprue and place this one. It's a sprue B, and here you can see that we have car body parts. We also have some internals, it means the seats. Also we have the dashboard and steering wheel, and also separate doors, which is quite interesting for a 1/72 scale, especially considering the fact that we have interior included. So you can expose it by opening the one of the doors, and here, by the way, you can check closer, for example, this lower parts of the seats, also the bottom panel of the vehicle, or floor panel. That's why it's actually MRIP. Here we have the rear wall. Again, we have the separate doors, which is rather useful for some models. Here we continue with separate front doors and rear doors, and again, interior parts. So all of this stuff looks quite nice, and if I flip over here, you can check some parts for the interior features, because some of them actually have the details copied from both sides, which is also useful because you don't have to deal with separate panels being attached to each other. You just have it on one part out of the box. Okay, next we continue with first PE fret, and why I'm saying first, because here we have the separate assembly manual, and I guess this one is used for the turret on the vehicle, so you can copy it with PE parts, and if I zoom in you can see what I'm talking about. And here, if I flip it over, here is the other side, so even the storage box is copied with help of this thing. And just give me a second. So here it is. It's unpainted PE fret, and again, it's a PE fret in 1/72 scale, so be ready for this thing. And of course it will be a question whether you would like to go for such thing, or maybe you are fine with the standard plastic offering. Obviously it's a shame not to use the supplied PE parts, but it will definitely require some skills. And one more plastic bag brings us additional PE parts. So I guess these ones are the standard package PE parts. So here you can see them, a lot of minor features which are copied with help of these parts, so also quite a valuable addition. And one more thing is the decal sheet, which is not written where it was printed, but printing quality looks fine. After all, it's a 1/72 scale decal sheet, so I wouldn't say that the quality is that noticeable. And next we continue with assembly manual. So this one is printed in album orientation, so I will zoom out a bit. And here you can see on the first page we have the same image as on the box art. If I open it here, we have the parts map, so no history node. And assembly process starts with the main chassis. But why I'm looking here is that we have the choice between the original plastic part or the PE replacement. So straight away on the step number 2 you are given a choice. Next we continue with the wheels, some suspension parts, and I have to say that for 1/72 scale, all this chassis subassembly looks rather impressive. And next we continue again with P parts, because here we start working on the interior. As you can see, a lot of things actually going inside, and even the dashboard will get its own decals, and that's really cool. We also have P parts for the bonnet, as far as you can see. Here we continue with the wheel arches, and here we have some storage boxes. This is the floor panel getting attached, and then we continue with the side view mirrors at this stage, which is rather interesting. And then we start working on the rear section of this vehicle. As you remember, it's partly open on the real vehicle, so that will be also a challenge to properly paint and weather it. But here we continue with the turret. So here we don't have any mention of the P parts. This is actually the standard plastic parts. In case you would like to use the P option, you have to resort to the separate manual, as you remember. Here we continue also with the side steps and wheels. Spare wheel gets assembled. Here we have also some options for the assembly and some P parts being used for this. We have colors chart in several manufacturer designations. Here we have Polish Army M-ATV, US Army M-ATV, and here we have again Polish Special Forces and Rock Army Festival 2019. I would say all 4 are quite interesting, so you will definitely find something to copy in your build. But overall, this kit looks quite impressive. Not all 135 scale kits can offer the same level of attention to the tiniest details. And let's not forget that this is just a 1/72 scale kit. Of course, I'll be happy to hear your opinion about such release. Do not forget to write it here in the comment section below. If you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.